So can two of the largest battery chainsaws on the market keep up with the latest and greatest from one of the biggest in the world?
So what have we actually got here to show you today? We have got the Milwaukee Dual Battery Chainsaw. We've got the brand new STIHL MS 400.1 and we've got the EGO CSX5000e.
Now, at the end of this video, I've got a very important question to ask you, but you're going to have to watch the video for it to make sense.
Right, let's get on with the first test.
So we're going to be doing a series of tests today. We have got some cutting tests in varying timber. We've got a torque test and we've got a bore test to really put these chainsaws through so that you can see what they're like. Because the biggest problem with chainsaw specs from manufacturers, they all vary of what calculations and descriptions that they use.
So before we do the first test, let's tell you a little bit about each of the saws. So first up, we have the EGO CSX5000e. It runs on their 56 volt system, and today we're using a 7.5 amp hour battery. The max chain speed is 30 meters per second and is running on a 20-inch bar with a 325 by 1.5mm full chisel chain. Our second battery offering is the Milwaukee Dual Battery M18 F2 CHS50. It runs on their 18 volt battery platform, and today we're using two 8 amp hour forged batteries. The max chain speed is 14.3 meters per second and is running on a 20-inch bar with a 325 by 1.3mm semi-chisel chain. And our petrol offering is the yet to be released STIHL MS 400.1. It has a 62.6cc engine and is rated at 5.2 horsepower. It is fitted with a 20-inch bar and is running their Rapid Super 3.8 by 1.6mm full chisel chain.
Right, EGO up first in its highest chain speed. 3, 2, 1, go! Right, now for the Milwaukee in the highest chain speed. 3, 2, 1, go! Right, still up next. Start your saw, Josh. He's already warmed it up. 3, 2, 1, go! Now it's time for the bore cut, each saw through this beautiful bit of oak. EGO, then Milwaukee, then the STIHL. So some interesting results already. Now we haven't seen the true times yet, but we'll round that up at the end.
Now you're probably asking, what about the chain speed of each saw? Well, we've got some spruce up in the yard, so we're going to cut into the grain and cut down through, and we're going to go through a larger bit of timber and actually see how quick each saw really is.
Now it's just started raining here, so we're going to have some lunch and then we'll meet you in the yard in a minute. Right, so we've had our lunch. It wasn't very exciting and it's still trying to rain. Anyway, we are on to softwood, so we've got some nice bit of spruce.
All right, Bruce.
Bruce to spruce, spruce and Bruce. So one cut down each again?
Yeah.
Yeah, one cut, one all up, down.
Yeah, let's go up, down.
Let's go, no, down, up.
Down, up.
Down, up. All right, down, up, cut. Let's time it. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1, go! So normally you cut a log that way, now we're going to cut it that way. So going with the grain, get some really long wood shavings out of it. So each saw, 1, 2, 3, let's see which one can get to that little ledge the quickest. Right, now time for a bit of ash test. Oh yes, nice big bit of ash. One cut down through each. Let's see how they get on. So there's 5 varying tests into 5 varying pieces of timber. Now we have some results. Oh yes, the good old sheet of figures. So the first test, the oak crosscut test, which Josh done. Now, probably expected results.
Yeah.
But obviously the one we were sort of, you know, looking forward to see how the 2 battery saws competed against each other in something like oak. Now the STIHL came out on top at 7.08 seconds. The Milwaukee came in at 10.18 seconds, and the EGO came in at 12.15 seconds.
Which kind of shows the real torque behind the Milwaukee, doesn't it? Especially in hardwood.
Definitely.
So it'll be interesting to see what the times are when we get down to the softer wood. So then we moved on to the bore cut, which James done. Again, the STIHL come out on top, which wasn't surprising in the slightest. The EGO done 11.10, and the Milwaukee done it about 1 second quicker at 10.19.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they did stop a couple of times when you're putting it in, didn't they?
Yeah.
But, you know, again, it's got the torque to put 20 inches of guide bar through some oak, so it's pretty good.
And I was pushing on those saws.
Yeah.
You can probably see from the video that
Yeah.
I was pushing on those saws to see what they could do. Now, you know, there's still, you know, I had to, it wasn't just straight in, you know, you still had to ease it in and out, you feel it dying down. But no, it's still surprising what that can do, without a doubt. Then we done the Spruce crosscut test. So Josh done that one. We had the STIHL come. Well, no, the EGO came out on top of that in the softwood. So, but there's probably a reason for that. So the EGO came in at 9.2 seconds. The Milwaukee came. Then the STIHL came in 11.14, and then the Milwaukee came in at 13.11. Now, I think the reason the STIHL was a little bit slower there was because you can probably see from the video there was 2 knots. So it went down through a knot and it came back up through another knot. So it, you know, put a little bit more work into that saw to be able to get that cut done.
Yeah.
But it just shows that the EGO seems to be quicker in softwood and the Milwaukee in hardwood. Now, as history tells us, between 2 of the biggest brands of chainsaw in the world, STIHL and Husqvarna, Husqvarna's always been known as a softwood saw, and STIHL's always been known as a hardwood saw. So perhaps history is repeating itself between Milwaukee and EGO, with the EGO being the softwood saw and Milwaukee being the hardwood saw.
Yeah. But then also the chain speed, obviously, on the 2, that runs at 14.3 meters per second, and the top chain speed is 30 meters per second.
Yeah.
So it's nearly twice as fast on the chain speed.
No, exactly.
So, you know. Then we moved on to the Spruce cutting into the grain.
Yep.
So down the log like that. Again, STIHL come out on top. The Milwaukee come in at 12.04, and the EGO come in at 10.20.
So the EGO with the obviously still coming on top, but the EGO then in softwood again has come out on top of the Milwaukee. It's interesting. So that takes us to the last one, which is the ash crosscut test. So obviously ash being a little bit easier to cut than oak. STIHL coming in 11.18 seconds, and then the Milwaukee and the EGO are pretty much level pegging, with the Milwaukee at 16.17 and the EGO at 16.04. Well, I call that a draw, without a shadow of a doubt. So that's, yeah, very...
But when you consider that the battery saws are only 4 seconds, 5 seconds behind a petrol saw, it's, you know, they are bloody good saws, aren't they?
They are very, very good saws. Now, the STIHL comes in at 62.7, 62.6 cc. So EGO state that their saw is equivalent to a 60 cc saw, and Milwaukee say the same. Now, I would probably put them somewhere around the 55 cc mark, I think, to be on the sensible side. But obviously, then they have got a little bit more weight than what a 55 cc saw would. So hence why I think they've probably said 60 cc class. Now, I know some of you all comment saying, oh, the STIHL's got a 3/8 chain and the Milwaukee and the EGO have both got 3.25 chains. Now, in our tests, we always use the chains that the manufacturers supply if you were to go and buy one today. And I think it's the only fairest way. Now, we could put the 3.25 chain on the STIHL, but if you were to go and buy one tomorrow, you wouldn't get it with 3.25. No. You would then have to change it to get it to do what it does when we use it in these tests. So we try and be as fair as possible with that. Now, I think the thing we can certainly take away from this is that battery saws are coming on leaps and bounds. But I think the most important thing is, because they've got those speed settings, is using the right speed setting for the operation that you're trying to do. So whether you're in hardwood, softwood, bore cuts, bits and pieces, it made a difference with the Milwaukee and the EGO changing those settings. Definitely. With the EGO, you've got 20 meters per second, 25 meters per second, and 30 meters per second. And with the Milwaukee, you've just got a high torque and low torque setting. So obviously with a petrol saw, you've just got your, you just go
flat out.
You just got your,
no buggering about.
You just got to play around with your trigger. Yeah.
But yeah, as you mentioned, when you think about it, it's this video really does show, as you say, how battery saws are getting there and very comparable to a petrol.
They are.
Now, obviously, the run times aren't going to be there as a petrol saw, as we all know. But you can still have loads of batteries. Yeah.
Now, that's a question that I want to ask you. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said I want to ask you a question. Now, this is it. Now, we know a lot of professionals are very petrol orientated. If they're using a saw all day long, they're petrol, and there's no swaying them. And there'll be people watching this video of exactly the same opinion. Now, what we'd like to know in the comments is, what would it take for you to buy a battery saw over a petrol? Is there something that you think is missing? Is there something that you think in the future of technology that's going to change your mind? Or are you streamlined, blinkered to only having a petrol-powered saw?
Do you know my answer to that?
What's your answer?
My answer would be, if they could produce a battery which is so small and so lightweight that it brings the power down, or the weight down to more like a petrol saw, but have the run time of half a day, then I think that's going to be the game changer.
So Josh wants a nuclear-powered chainsaw by the sounds of it. Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, it's coming, isn't it? Yeah,
it will come. Something will come at some point. But what would it make in the comments below? What would it take for you to want to buy a battery saw if you are very, very petrol-orientated? So I think that concludes our nice little video all about comparing two of the biggest battery chainsaws on the market against one of the best from the best.
And we hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please subscribe and ding that notification bell, because we're Machinery Nation and we bring you product videos every week all about tools and machinery. So hopefully we will see you in the next one.
Cheerio.